Hey everyone, Coach Corey here, and I get asked all the time, hey Coach, what should I do if I'm traveling, or if I'm away on vacation, or I'm at home and I don't have any equipment, but I want to get in a quick workout? Well, you can do a great workout just by using your own body weight. You don't need any equipment. I am going to put an asterisk there. There is one particular movement that is challenging to do if you don't have any equipment, but I'm going to give you an example, something that you might invest in just to have at home, because super easy to travel with this piece of equipment as well. All of my workouts start with jumping jacks, seal claps, and crisscrosses. A jumping jack, arms go over your head. Most people know that one. A seal clap is a jumping jack with your arms out in front, and a crisscross, everything crosses in the middle. How many do I recommend? 10 of each of those. What if you're doing non-impact? Well, you can still do your jumping jacks, you can do your seal claps, and you can do your crisscrosses in a non-impact version. The jumping jack really is designed to open up that shoulder, seal clap for your upper body and your chest, and then your crisscrosses is going to help with your back. Okay. Now let's get into a ramp. Ramp stands for range of motion activation and movement preparation. It's 3 movements that's going to prepare us for the strength portion of it. So the one that I like to start with, body weight, is going to be a body weight squat with a hip rotation. Okay, so I think about if I'm stepping up and over a hurdle, I want to step up and over that hurdle on the way back as well. I'm going to end up doing 10 squats or 5 on each side for those rotations. Okay, that's the first one. The second one is going to be a curtsy lunge. Okay, so take this leg, step behind, bend, and I am going to tilt forward a little bit in this one. In my squats, I make sure that my torso is staying upright. In the curtsy lunge, I'm going to lean forward a little bit. Now, if you're a little more advanced doing the curtsy lunge, you can reach down and try to reach towards that toe, opposite hand to opposite toe. You get a little bit more stretch and a little bit more activation in that posterior chain. And then the last one that we are going to do is a knee drive kickback. It is hands down one of my favorite movements to put into a ramp. You can do it from the floor or elevated. So you have a couch, maybe you're in a hotel room, they have a couch there on the edge of the bed. We're going to drive our knee in and then kick back. Okay, as I'm kicking back, I'm pushing the earth or the bench or whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm elevated on, away from me. So kick it in, push it back, kick it in, push it back. Can it be done from the floor? Of course it can. We can be in a plank position. We'll drive our knee in towards our elbow and kick straight back. All right. So that's what we're going to do for our ramp. That should take about 5 minutes. If you're super fast, you can run through it twice. We really want to be warmed up. Okay, for our strength portion, let me glance at my notes real quick. All right, so first one of the most basic upper body push movements is a push-up. So I'm going to give you some options for this. Elevating it is a great option because we do want to keep it in that plank position. So maybe a kitchen counter, it could be a vanity of a sink, it could be if you have stairs wherever you're staying, it could be the arm of a couch. Elevated plank position, feet can be a little bit wide for some stability, or if you want to add a little more core work into it, bring those feet together. We lower our body down in that plank position, and then we push up. If we need a modification, we can always put one foot in front. And now I'm taking a little bit of weight off, but I'm also allowing this foot to help me if I need spotting. I can spot myself on that one. That's going to help me with some assistance. Now, you can do this in a circuit format where I would do one movement, shake it out, rest 30 seconds to 45 seconds, move on to the next movement. Or what I like to do is I like to do that movement. I'm going to do a push-up. I'm going to do 8 to 12 of those. I'll shake it out. I'll rest 30 to 45 seconds. I'll do it again, do it again, do it again. And I actually have a timer set on my phone for 4.5 minutes, and I know I can usually get 3 to 4 sets in that period of time. All right, the second one is going to be a squat. It could be a standing squat, just like this. You could do a bench squat where we sit down to a chair, might be a couch, might be an ottoman. When I stand up, the key is I want to keep my chest up high, as if I'm pushing up through the top of my head. What I see a lot of people do is they'll lean forward and stand up, okay? And what we did was we turned that squat into more of a deadlift. So we want to make sure that we're upright the whole time, standing up nice and tall. If we're not going to a bench and we can go a little bit lower than the bench, great, okay? 8 to 12 of those, again, 3 sets to 4 sets should be more than enough. If you were doing the circuit format, then you could do 3 or 4 circuits of these, but make sure most people speed through those circuits. It ends up being cardio as opposed to strength. We want to make sure that we're giving ourselves proper rest. The next one is the hard one to do without any type of piece of equipment. It is a pull. Unless you have a pull-up bar or the EQs, the equalizer bars, very hard to do a pull. I've seen people set 2 chairs and put like a broomstick over it. There's a little safety feature in that one. We want to make sure that we are safe while we're doing this. But one of the easiest things to do is grab one of these 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch bands from my favorite company is Perform Better. And if you have this band, then you can do a lot of different pull movements for the back. So the one that I recommend is holding it straight out in front and then pulling your arms apart and back together. Pull your arms apart, back together. If you are, you don't have that with you. Anything that has some weight, it could be your suitcase, it could be a bucket full of water. Water weighs 8 pounds a gallon. So if you have a 5-gallon bucket and you fill 4 gallons of it up, 4 times 8, well, you got yourself a pretty heavy weight there. But I could, rest my hand on the bed, grab a hold of my suitcase, and pull straight up, straight down. That pull movement is a tough one to do where it's body weight only unless you have a pull-up bar or one of the EQs that you can use. Again, if I'm using a band to pull apart, I'm going to do 8 to 12 of those. If I'm using my suitcase or something like that where I have a little bit of weight, depending on the weight of it, could be 6 to 8 on each side. It might be another 8 to 12 on each side. The last one that we're going to do, I'm going to show you 2 different options for this, is a hip bridge. I prefer to do it elevated. Some people like to do it on the floor. So if this was like my couch here or an ottoman, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my shoulder blades right on top of the couch or the ottoman. I'm going to drop my hips down, but notice I need to keep my back perfectly straight. A lot of people will arch their back like this, and we don't want that. We're going to drive hips up, back down, hips up. If you want to make it more challenging, you can lift one leg up in the air and you can do these single-legged. Now, if we want to do it from the floor, it's very similar. Hip bridge, rest your head back on the floor, hip bridge. You can also do that single leg as well. Again, for these movements, we're looking for that 8 to 12 rep range. We're looking for full range of motion. If you want to do each of these movement patterns, the upper body push, our squat, our hinge, our pull, you could do those, probably take you 4.5 minutes to get your 3 to 4 sets in at 8 to 12 reps. Or if you want to do it in a circuit style, then I would go around that circuit probably 4 times. Don't forget to do the ramp. Don't forget to do the warm-up, right? You want to prepare yourself for the strength. And at the end, spend the next 5 minutes and cool down. Do some stretching, full body stretching. Might be maybe you complement this with one of those short yoga videos. Anything like that will really work in helping you cool down, stretch, and help with recovery as well. So hopefully that is a great workout that you can incorporate into travel, a quick one that you can do at home, but again, does not require, can't say no equipment because I did show you some equipment, but very minimal amounts of equipment, mostly body weight.